Side note to this story, we're 30,000 feet in the air and my dad turns to me. He's like, you know what, man? I'm so happy to be going back to jail. I paused and I said, what do you mean, Dad? What do you mean going back to jail? He said, yeah, man, I've been to jail twice. I'm like, here I am.
And you didn't know that?
I had no clue. He is a pastor. He's a saved, sanctified man. He washed my mouth out with soap when I was 5 years old because I said the S word when I was a kid. Uh-huh. Yeah, that man went to jail.
Life can feel like a roller coaster, but in the beauty and the chaos, if you look for it, life is full of love, joy, and kindness. Welcome to the Candace and Bure podcast. We're here to share conversations about life's challenges, celebrations, and everything in between. Season 4 is When the Going Gets Tough with Bianca Juarez Olthoff. Come join us. I'm so excited to share the good work that Operation Christmas Child is doing throughout the world. Operation Christmas Child reaches millions of children each year with the good news of Jesus Christ through simple shoebox gifts. Since 1993, more than 209 million children in over 170 countries and territories have received a shoebox gift. Anyone can pack a shoebox and help send joy to a child in need with Operation Christmas Child. I have packed so many of these over the years with my kids, and you can pack a shoebox with fun toys, school supplies, and personal care items, and then bring it to a drop-off location during National Collection Week, November 13th through the 20th. Or you can even build a shoebox online. It's that easy. The good news of Jesus Christ is shared alongside your gift, and each child is invited to join a discipleship program. Learn how to pack a shoebox, view gift suggestions, and find your nearest drop-off location by visiting SamaritansPurse.org/OCC. The link is also in today's show notes.
Access more.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Candace and Bure podcast. I'm with my co-host, Bianca.
And we're very excited for today's episode.
We are. Why don't you share what we're going to be talking about?
Okay, well, we're going to be talking about 4 ways to grow your grit. Now, before we jump in to learning how to be gritty, I feel like this is your podcast. And as your guest, I would like to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Oh, okay.
Because I know that the podcast listeners, we're nosy. We want to get into the nitty gritty. So
I feel like they know everything about me.
No. We don't.
Okay.
We don't. So
Okay.
I asked some questions that go, if this was a pool, we're out of the 3 feet. We're not in the 12 feet, but can you hang for some 5 feet questions?
Okay, you know that's above my face though, because I'm only 5'2". Like I'm already underwater.
You're already drowning.
I'm totally drowning.
Okay. All right, we're in the 4 feet. 4 feet.
Okay, thank you.
No, this is
I feel
this is
safer
fun
now.
because people can look at you and be like, "Wow, her skin is popping. Look at her, mom of 3." So, inquiring minds want to know, what is your favorite skincare product that you have and use either daily or weekly that you want to share?
Okay, people are going to think you're asking me that because I'm this huge Dr. Lancer fan, and
I'm asking you because I'm looking at your JLo glow. Okay,
Okay.
So like,
okay, awesome. So this is not an ad.
No,
okay,
no.
You're genuinely asking this
Yes.
question. I've been using Dr. Lancer products, Dr. Lancer skincare for probably almost 15 years.
Oh, wow.
And I love it. I love it. So I speak on behalf of the brand a lot.
okay.
And so if you follow me on socials or QVC, you're always going to see me talking about Dr. Lancer, but I'm legit a patient of Dr. Lancer's for that long.
Wow.
And it's the only skincare I use. It just transformed my skin.
Okay, so what's the one item from the line that you're like, if I'm on a desert island, I can't live without this?
The polish.
Okay.
So there's the method, which is the 3-piece method, polish, cleanse, nourish. And that's the foundation of my skincare. I do that every day, 2 times a day.
Oh, wow.
So, but then there's other products that I use in addition to that to then take care of my specific skincare needs. So I have like a lot of dark spots, sunspots, hyperpigmentation on my face. So my other go-to is the caviar lime acid peel, which is amazing.
That sounds so fancy.
Like I used it last night because I knew I was going to be here with you today. So I'm like, I need to look extra special for camera. And I use my caviar lime acid peel.
Thank you for sharing your secrets with us. Okay. What is your favorite food dish that you like to make or eat?
Ooh, Okay, my favorite one to eat is sushi. I'm just a huge Japanese cuisine in general, and I love Japan as a country, so I love Japanese food. My favorite, can it just be a dish, like a side dish? Because
Absolutely.
my friend Danielle Walker.
I love Danielle.
Oh, okay.
I know her.
You know Danielle.
Yes.
So she has these amazing cookbooks.
Yes.
And she has, I'm not sure if she has celiac.
She does.
She does have celiac. So most of her cookbooks are gluten-free, dairy-free. And so I don't have that. I don't have to eat that way, but I try to eat gluten-free as much as possible. And her recipes are so
Delicious.
good.
Delicious.
So she has, and you're going to laugh because what do you call yourself?
Mexican.
What is it?
Mexican. It's Mexican and Puerto Rican.
Yeah, Mexican. You're going to laugh at this because she has a cheese-free queso.
You know what?
And you're like,
a little part of my soul died when I saw that, but I heard it's really good.
No. It is one of the best things I've ever had. And I don't usually like cheese-free things. And even my kids, my boys, I made it. And I was like, try this queso. And they're like, oh, there's not even real cheese in it. This is going to be awful. They love it so much. And then they were like, okay, but Mom, you can't call this queso. You can't say that you made queso today. You just got to call it like awesome dip. So I called Danielle. I was like, you just need to change the name of the cookbook to awesome dip.
Okay. Next up, rapid fire question. If you can be one character of the Bible and no, it can't be Jesus, who would you pick?
I would pick Esther. Esther's my girl.
Is it because you love a good spa day?
Partly, yes. I was like, I would like to be in the spa for a couple of years.
Listen, queen, go on with your bad self. Okay, question number 4. Over the course of your life, and you could pick any decade, any age, what has been the favorite outfit that you've ever worn in your life?
Okay, this isn't rapid fire. My answer isn't going to be rapid fire. Here's the thing. I have a clothing line. I've been on lots of red carpets. Like I wear a lot of clothes and I love clothes. I love fashion. But truly my favorite outfits, I'm going to pluralize that I've ever worn are costumes from the show.
You know what? I've listened to your podcast and you love a good costume.
I love a good costume.
Yes.
I love dressing up. So like on Fuller House, there are a handful of episodes where I got to wear costumes. One was a Halloween one, but I was Goldilocks. We did a Renaissance episode.
You were also Barbie and Skipper, remember?
Yes.
I remember that from the podcast episode. Yes.
So I actually have a bunch of these amazing custom costumes. I was a fairy godmother in one of them. It's the most incredible costume. So those are absolutely my favorite.
Okay. Last question. You take such great care of yourself. You are a mom. You are a business owner. You have a busy life. You keep health as a priority. What has been your motivation to keep going and not quit?
I love what I do. I'm grateful that God's given me whatever he's given me. And I just want to utilize that and share it and do it. And I'm very grateful that I get to be in a world in which I'm able to be passionate about I'm able to do the things I'm super passionate about. And I think that just drives me. I also like making people happy. I'm a people pleaser to a fault. I'm really learning not to be that way, but I enjoy entertaining people.
I love it.
It all just motivates me.
I love that.
Thanks for asking those. That was really fun. I'm going to get you in another episode.
Okay,
You know that, right? Okay. So today we are talking about growing your grit.
Yes.
And in order to grow your grit, you actually have to go through some stuff, right? You have to practice it. It's when life throws you a bunch of stuff and you feel like giving up, but you don't. You have to learn how to not give up. So what has happened in your life that's actually taught you how to be gritty?
I think so many people love the idea of being an overcomer, but we don't want to overcome anything. We love the idea of being a conqueror, but we don't want to go to battle.
Right.
So I think what I want to kind of pull back as we talk about this and unveil, how do we grow our grit? I'm going to say something that no one wants to hear. How we grow our grit, how we grow resilience is by going through trials. It's by going through trials, trauma, tribulation, loss. It's all the things that we want to avoid. that's actually the things that transform us. So the thing that we want to avoid is actually the thing that will release us into the person that we know truly is deep within.
I think about when you asked me who's my favorite Bible person, and I hesitated because I'm like, oh, there's tons of people I would love to be in the Bible. But then I stop and think and I go, but I actually don't.
Right?
Because they all went through the worst stuff. Even Esther did.
Yes.
I mean, all of them. So you really have to think about it because I'm like, I want to be like Noah, but Noah had to
work for 120 years.
120 years. I want to be like David, but he had to go fight. He was in the fire. He was in the lions, or that's Daniel. Daniel
was in the lion's pit, and then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were in the fire.
We're in the fire.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to be like them, but I don't actually want to go through what they're going through.
So what happens in our life when we're doing all the right things and yet everything feels so wrong? We pivot. So I want to give us 4 practical ways that we can grow our grit. And I want to pause at various moments because I know that some of the stuff that I'm going to say feels like a lot. I've also sandwiched a story in all of this because I want it to feel like it's not just some theoretical points, but something that we're outworking and living. So a couple years ago, this is when I just started going into prisons. In fact, I actually got a chance to go with your mom into a prison in Lubbock, Texas. And it was on this trip that she was coming. So we're flying out Monday. On Sunday, we had just launched the church. So we're portable, we're set up and tear down. And I was one of the last people there at church, and I was loading up the truck. And I just jumped off the truck. It wasn't even anything crazy. I mean, the bed of the truck was maybe 2 feet high. It was nothing big. But for some reason, I rolled my ankle and I blacked out for a nanosecond, hit the floor. I'm writhing in pain. It hurt so bad, Candace, I thought I broke my ankle. I'm not even kidding you. I was rushed to the emergency room and I'm like, I broke it. They ran x-rays. I was there for 8 hours. And then finally they said, no, you don't have it's not broken. It's just a bad sprain. But I'm on medication. I'm in the hospital. I'm looking at my husband and I'm like, I can't go. I just refuse to go. It's not supposed to be this flipping hard. And if I'm honest, I hate saying this. I was just really angry with God. I was angry with God because I'm setting up a church that I didn't even want to start, and I'm getting off of a truck that I didn't want to load, and I'm going to a prison. And this is not who is born and says, gee, I can't wait to go to prisons to resource the incarcerated. This is not easy stuff. And yet I felt like I was so obedient to God. It shouldn't be this hard.
Why did this just happen?
Yes. So my husband's just I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're going to make the decision. But I want you to think about all those lives that are in prison and think about how all the evil in the world does not want you to go and bring light into such a dark place. And so you have a choice. You can go or walk away, but you're gritty and I know that you can hang. So hopped on a plane the next day. And these are actually scientific ways to grow grit. But looking back retrospectively at that event where I got a chance to meet your mom, and she was traveling with one of her close friends who was also there and spoke at the conference, I want to give us these 4 practical principles, and I want to lay it over real life experience. So what happens, the reason why I always tell stories is because our brain understands stories. We don't necessarily understand practices. So I'll give you the 4 practices and then we'll unpack it. The first one is insight. The second one is independence. The third is relationships. And then the fourth is creativity and humor. They're synonymous.
Okay.
So let's unpack that. Okay. So the first one is insight. So this is the ability to ask yourself tough questions when facing difficulties or tough situations.
Okay. Will you slow down for me just a little bit?
Yes.
Because I want to understand every word that you're saying.
And also, I've been told this 1,000 times. I speak so fast. In my head, I sound like this, but I'm also
everyone's going to put
Latina.
you on 0.5 in the speed. No, but that's just for me because these are so important to me, and I'm really I
love you for telling me this. Thank you. Yes.
No, but I want to hear every word. So can you even repeat insight again? Because I didn't.
Absolutely. Insight is the ability to ask yourself tough questions when you're facing difficulties and give yourself honest answers.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You have to pause for that. The fact you were literally modeling it right now. You pause because you needed to be honest about the situations amidst difficulties.
I just knew that I knew that I knew.
You know her.
Because I know.
You know her, yes. And the thing about insight is that the ability to face reality and accept the truth.
Okay.
So for the situation with prison, I remember being in the hospital and I had to ask myself the tough question, if I don't go, what is at stake? That just asking yourself questions give you insight where you can have an honest perspective of reality while still facing some of the consequences that come with that. I'm not saying that this should be the response. I'm not saying that people should respond this way. But for me, in that situation, if I'm honest with you, I'm hyped up on drugs. I'm still in a lot of pain. I'm exhausted from preaching that Sunday. But I told myself, suck it up.
Yeah.
Suck it up and get on that flipping plane.
Yep.
And I'm not saying everyone should, but after this moment of insight, I realized that's what I needed to say. So that's insightful.
Yep.
The second thing to grow our grit is independence. Now, I want to put some language around this because we think of independence as in like autonomy, and that's independence. But how I'm using independence here refers to the ability to distance yourself from the source of trouble in your life. So it gives us space and latitude to like separate ourselves, not sometimes physically, but most of the time emotionally.
Right.
So for me, I'm in the hospital. I have to separate myself from the pain. I have to separate myself from not wanting to go.
Yep. Separate
myself from being frustrated. And if I'm honest, angry with God. And it also separates us from outside influences. People that will tell us what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. To get to independence, you have to first have the insight to say, okay, this is what's going on. I'm going to separate myself from people that are around me. And I remember I was in the hospital and I told my husband, I don't want to go. And what I wanted him to say was, you precious little princess, let me stroke your hair. You don't have to go. Oh, the devil doesn't want you to go. You're released. I wanted him to say that.
Right.
But when we allow other people to make decisions for us, we can blame them when it doesn't go our way, or it abdicates responsibility on us to actually make decisions for our life. This goes back to agency that we spoke about. This goes back to free will that we spoke about. So independence removes us from blaming people or allowing people to make decisions for us because we want to abdicate. I'm just a pretty princess and I don't want to make decisions. No, independence allows you to separate yourself emotionally or physically from the pain or trial, trauma, tribulation, to make grown decisions for ourselves. And we're growing grit.
Okay.
Third is relationships. So when facing the hurdles of resistance, when facing trial, trauma, tribulation, whatever, when facing the issues in our lives, relationships are key in helping us build resilience. So I'm in the hospital. I knew that Matt, my husband, couldn't come with me. So I call my dad and I said, Dad, will you come with me to these jails tomorrow? We didn't have one, not two. We were hosting 3 prison conferences. And one of them was a conference for men. So I called my dad, and my dad in his thick Mexican accent, yeah, man, I'll go. Okay. So like we book a ticket and it's me and my dad. We're flying to Lubbock, Texas. Side note to this story. We're 30,000 feet in the air. And my dad turns to me. He's like, you know what, man? I'm so happy to be going back to jail. I paused and I said, what do you mean, Dad? What do you mean going back to jail? He said, yeah, man, I've been to jail twice. I'm like, here I am.
And you didn't know that?
I had no clue. He is a pastor. He's a saved, sanctified man. He washed my mouth out with soap when I was 5 years old because I said the S word when I was a kid. Yeah, that man went to jail.
Wow.
And look at God just redeeming all the stories and taking him back to a place. Anyways, neither here nor there. Relationships are the thing that will help us build our grit. Because when we can't walk on our own, literally, I was in a booty, an ugly blue booty. I couldn't walk. We need relationships or people that help carry us metaphorically, or in my case, physically.
Yes.
He pushed me in a wheelchair through LAX International Airport.
It's very much how I feel about my husband, my business partners, my best friend. They're the people that
when we feel like we can't,
they tell us we can, and they help us.
Yep. Insight, independence, relationships. And then this is the last and final one. Creativity and humor. Okay. Most people write this off. They don't think it matters, but creativity and humor are related to resiliency. And they're actually building grit and resilience in our lives. Let's talk a little bit about how. Sometimes when I'm in meetings, I find myself doodling. I found myself drawing or typing or tapping. What I'm doing is that I'm giving my brain a chance to relax. A couple episodes ago, you spoke about
the coloring books, the adult coloring books.
And I didn't want to jump the gun because what you were talking about was so beautiful, but that is part of being resilient. It's giving ourselves to taste, to touch, to see colors, to get imagery in that. And so without even knowing that I was building resilience and grit, when we landed in Lubbock, Texas, we had to go and pick up some things for the conference. And so we went to Walmart, good old Walmart in Texas. And I saw this ugly boot, and I'm always in high heels. And I was so sad that I'm going to prison for these conferences and I'm looking busted and ugly in this ghetto shoe. And so while we were at Walmart, I bought these like gold sticker studs. And listen, if I'm in Texas, I'm gonna bedazzle my boot, okay? And I've always wanted Balenciagas, but I could never afford them. And so I made my Beyond Saga, okay? So I bedazzled it and I even put the letters on the shoe. I mean, it was tacky as all get out. But I was gonna roll up like a diva as big as the Texas sky.
That's so good. That's so good.
Without realizing humor and creativity are building resilience. So how do we get to the nitty-gritty?
That's such a good example.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
I would never have thought of that.
And most people don't. We think it's like escapism or no.
Right.
If honestly, I'm a big ardent believer of comedy shows. I really am. If you're feeling down and out, go watch a comedy show. Go hop on Netflix. Like see something because what we're doing is we're building our resilience. You know what comedy is? It's laughing at our pain. And the greatest comedians make light of some of our greatest pain. So those four things are really stepping into.
I grew up with some pretty great, amazing comedians. So I know that to be true.
Yes. And they are gritty and they're teaching us how to be gritty as well.
In a world where healthcare costs are soaring and more claims are being denied, there has got to be a better way to find quality healthcare. As a parent, we want to make sure that we're making the best health decisions for our families. Crowd Health was created to get rid of the headaches of health insurance. Crowd Health is not health insurance, but it's a way to pay for healthcare through crowdfunding. Your $50 a month membership with Crowd Health takes care of you. You'll get access to telemedicine visits, discounted prescriptions, and so much more, all without doctors' networks getting in the way. With Crowd Health, you get a personal care advocate to help you steer through your family's needs and negotiate bills on your behalf. Join the crowd with other members who, just like you, want to help to pay for each other's unexpected medical events. You can choose to opt out of restrictive health insurance plans and let Crowd Health help meet your healthcare needs. Get started today for just $50 per month. Use code KIND to get the healthcare you deserve. Crowd Health is not insurance. Learn more at joincrowdhealth.com. That's joincrowdhealth.com. Code KIND. So now I'm trying to think of what you just spoke about, like how I deal with when I face resistance. Did that make sense? What did I say?
Yeah, how I
deal with resistance. I'm like, let me sit back and think because there was so much in what you just said. Well, I really do love the last thing you just talked about, creativity and humor. And I feel like the creativity aspect is something I relate to very much because when I do face resistance or roadblocks, my immediate is, okay, how do I go under? How do I go over? How do I go around it? How do I go through it? It's just, how do I problem solve? And every time I'm told no, I'm just like, oh, you can't tell me that. Don't tell me I can't. Don't tell me I can't. Because now I have to prove to you that I can, because I can and I will. And I want to find a different way. So the creativity, that makes sense to me. And it's not necessarily in a defiant type of way from me, but that really helps me go, okay, I've bumped up against something, so I can deal with it in a couple of different ways.
Yeah.
I could just sit in, this sucks, and I'm going to just accept the answer, and this is what it is, and do nothing about it. But I also know logically that me sitting in it for too long isn't going to solve anything. Yeah. I might need under certain circumstances to sit in it to grieve or be disappointed or process. But after a while, then that's when I have a choice. We talked about that in the other episode. I have a choice to make. So I think I tend to go to the creativity of, okay, what are my choices? What can I do? How do I figure this out, a way around it?
And that's a hallmark of a gritty person. So I want to kind of flip the narrative for a second, because if those are the things that make us gritty, excuses are the thing that abdicate and say, well, it's not for me. And we have this phrase right now that's very like in our nomenclature and vernacular as Americans, it's this expression, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Indicating I can't control anything, and that's my excuse. Talk to me about what excuses look like. I know that your family has one of the mantras that I'm stealing, this motto I'm going to steal. And I want you to unpack it, because when we were having a conversation about it, it's really changed my life. What's your family motto? No, I'm not kidding you. Yeah.
We do have a family motto, and it's excuses are for losers.
Watch out, sensitive ears. Someone's going to take offense, but offense is a choice, Susan. Listen, please. Listen.
Someone will take offense, but let me share this with you and how we see it. So we actually, my husband had the letters from the craft store and like had it made and big, probably like 6 feet long, and put it above the whole motto. The whole motto, excuses are for losers, above my boys' door frame in their bedroom when they were growing up. Excuses are for losers. The last thing they're looking at as they walk out of their room. Don't make excuses. And the whole point of that is not that you are a loser. It's that it's a loser mentality when you make excuses before even trying.
That's right.
So I can't do it. Oh no, I'm not. It's like, you don't know that. That's a loser mentality. You've already lost. It's okay to lose if you try. You shared a story so many episodes ago, and it's like the losing part or the failure part, it's okay if you fail. But to hold yourself back before even trying, that's why we say excuses, they're for losers, a loser mentality. So we don't put up with it, and we use that in our everyday life, and we laugh about it, and it actually becomes a fun motto, because it really isn't negative. It's supposed to be like encouraging.
You know, it is, because it removes excuses from our vocabulary. Yeah. And I don't want someone to like hear this and be offended. We're not saying that people are losers. We're saying you just lose when you don't try.
Exactly.
You lose when you don't try. Just give it your best shot.
Yeah. Every time our kids growing up, especially when they were younger, and they'd say, excuses are for losers. But excuses.
The savagery in the Bure
don't have a loser attitude.
I love it. I love it. We had some listener questions, and I feel like we should answer some of the questions that came in from Candace.com, because we love hearing from people on the podcast and then giving our insight and growing in the process.
Yeah. So let's take this question. It's from Rachel. She says, "Hey, Candace, I was wondering how you have joy even when your circumstances are bad. My desire to be a mom is so strong, but I've had 2 miscarriages this year, and this trial has taken a lot of my joy. It's hard for me to put on a happy face because as of lately, it's hard for me to feel happiness. And I don't want others to feel sad by being around me, but I also don't want to fake how I'm feeling. How do I get my joy back when my emotions are all over the place?" Whew, this is a big question. Big. Rachel, first of all, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And I just sit with you in your miscarriages. I know from personal experience how difficult that is. And it's okay to sit in that grief. Absolutely. And you don't have to hide that. And you need the time to process it. But as I talked about early, I don't ever want to put a timestamp on grief, because especially with loss like that, I don't know that you ever stop grieving for that. But I think there is a time in which you can take steps, even if they're baby steps, to move forward without forgetting. Do you have any words of wisdom for us, Bianca?
You know, when I read this question and hearing your voice over these words, what I'm really hearing in Rachel is heartbreak. And so, Rachel, I have so much faith in a God who can heal. And I pray that as you sit and process this pain, that you believe that God can meet you like he met Hannah in her prayers. What I will also say in your desire for motherhood is, and for everyone out there who's maybe dealing with maybe a different sort of grief or a different sort of pain, is in our culture, we aren't good at handling grief. We love to, when we bury someone that we love, we are given one day of bereavement and then we're back at work. In our culture, we're not very good at expressing our grief. And in our fast-paced Western culture, whether here in America or any industrialized society, is that we just move past and we move past and we move past. And without grief, we will never heal. And so, yes, I believe that you will be so happy if God grants you a baby, but I want you to be a healed and whole mother stepping into that. And so a couple ways that we deal with grief, not just in our culture, but across the globe, is repression, suppression, or expression. Repression is when we subconsciously push away pain. We file into vaults. There's even suppressive memory loss, repressive memory loss, where we don't deal with it because it's been so traumatizing. Our brain actually can't process it. That's repression. Then there's suppression, where we literally push down emotions. We're just like, I'm not going to feel it. I'm not going to think it. I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to push it down, push it down, push it down. But it's like a shaken up Coke bottle that after a while, there's going to be an explosion. So what's the best way to handle grief? And how do we heal? Through expression. I love that we can confess our pain to the Lord. Jesus said, come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Is your soul tired from grieving? Confess it to the Lord. Are you angry because you lost the babies? Confess it to the Lord and then express it to your community. There is healing. So she, right, even now is expressing it in this community. But I also want to encourage her that this is part of the healing process. So I pray that the Lord give her a baby, but what I would really love before the baby is in her arms, that the Lord would give her space to bandage her heart so that she can be the most healed version of a mother that she could ever be. And for all of us who are dealing with unnamed pain or shame, and we're grieving with repression or suppression, people have been told their whole life, suck it up. Here's a tissue for your issue. Don't cry. Crying's for babies. Crying's for girls. And we're seeing a generation specifically of men who are stuck at an emotional age of trauma because they haven't given themselves space to grieve. And so my heart and hope, not just for this listener, but for all of us, is that we can learn how to grieve our pain, to emotionally mature and develop and walk in full health and healing.
That was so good. That was such good wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay, where do I pay you after for that? Again, that therapy lesson, because you're so wise. I just love it. Thank you. Bianca and I have a free download for you this season called What to Do in the Waiting, and you can find that at Candace.com. You'll also find a link in our show notes. This free PDF is just to help you dig a little deeper into the ways these conversations can help you. And if you're loving this conversation, don't forget to pick up Bianca's book, Grit, Don't Quit, because it unpacks so much more. Join us next time. We'll be talking about the power of mindset. You've heard people talk about the power of positive thinking, but it is so much more than that. Until next time, be grateful all day, every day. Guys, Bianca is such a great host. Hit the thumbs up button if you agree and comment what you're learning. Candy Rock Entertainment, all rights reserved.